All right, Bobby, you're our intro guy.
Today is a special day, and today is a podcast where we talk about that special day. I'm Bobby Parker.
And I'm Joey Nickel.
Welcome to Today Is.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have a topic that is it's going to take a lot of time to talk about, so we're going to introduce it right away, and we can talk about other stuff, but I want to introduce it right away because we don't have a lot of time. It is Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day. Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day.
Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day.
Yeah, that is the holiday today. Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day.
I'm glad we're getting
Don't tell
this.
me you've never heard of this before, because everyone knows about this.
I'm glad we're getting this up front because it is the most important holiday we've ever discussed on this show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, keep that on your mind. What shows did you have this week?
Oh yeah. So this week I was at Third Space Improv in St. Augustine.
Oh yes, this is a big week for you.
Yeah.
It's a very big week for you.
Yeah. And that happened on Friday the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. It was a show called Love Bites. Dr. Anna Lepley was there.
I heard reality bites.
It does.
Or is it realty? Is it like selling houses?
Well, both.
Oh.
I mean, we're in a subprime market, and the reality of it is it bites. But yeah, Anna was there. She headlined. It was a
That's
fun
great.
show.
It was you and Anna and
me, Anna. She had there was a comedian who was driving up from Miami that hit traffic and couldn't be there for the show. So
that sucks.
It stinks. So it was Mac Lawson. I don't know her. But
I know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know her.
She actually reached out to me. I think because of that, she reached out to me to see if I had any shows that I could put her on.
Right.
I don't know if it was because of that or not, but it does kind of coincide with what you're saying.
Right. And so like that's why I paused there. I'm like, I forget her name off the top of my head. Wendy Gillis hosted, and another guy named Cousin Eddie.
Oh yeah, he's a St. Augustine guy.
Yeah.
He used to run an open mic down there.
The way he said it, he still does, but
It's one of those open mics that probably has just always will run for years, and everybody will be like, wait a minute, I forgot there's an open mic. Is that open mic still going on down there?
Right. Yeah.
It's got a Asian name. The restaurant. It's like Samurai
or
Shogun.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's sorry, I forget.
Yeah.
It's called Shogun Cultural Appropriation. Is what it's the name of the restaurant. No, I just made that up.
I actually. Right before the show, I went to it's a cat lounge, a cat cafe in St. Augustine.
With actual cats.
With actual cats. Oh. They've got actual cats roaming around in a portion of this business. I just had to use the restroom. And
so did all the cats.
And I also bought like a tea just to.
And this is in St. Augustine?
In St. Augustine, yeah.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, it's right near Third Space Improv, and to give them a quick shout out, and I asked them about like, hey, would you ever be open to like having a recording done here? And they were very into it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
At Third Space?
At Third Space.
Sean actually, because I actually asked Sean about Third Space. I just wanted to know like how big it was and stuff. I'm not against doing a recording at Third Space. It is a little small for what I was thinking.
Ditto. But I just wanted to say it's on the optional list at this point. It's a consideration.
And it's not and I haven't actually been to it, but the pictures I see, it looks like a cool place to do a set. The backdrop's not dumb looking, or it's not like a bar, or something like that.
Yes.
And it's not a normal comedy club that's going to have a recognizable logo or anything like that.
Right. And I'm not dropping that on you saying, hey, this is what we should do. I'm just saying it's an option.
Yeah,
and they
that is one that is on a short list for me of places I would like to do the recording. It was just a little small for what I was thinking at the time.
Right.
But I don't know. We maybe what does it seat? 30?
30 to 40.
30 to 40?
Yeah.
Maybe 30 to 40. I don't know. I was thinking of a place that seats about maybe 90 to 100, so that if we and to hopefully fill it with 50 to 70, and then we'll still have room for cameras and everything like that, because
Right.
I want to set up at least 3 cameras when we record it.
Absolutely.
Although I may throw all of this out the window because hate it, all of it. I hate doing. I'm quitting comedy. No, there's so much going on. It's just like getting our specials together has kind of taken a back burner now since it didn't kind of happen as quickly as we were hoping.
Right.
And we didn't find a venue as quickly as we were hoping. And so there's so many other things. I also have an idea. So we already talked about it, right? When I did First Coast. Yeah. So when I did Full Disclosure at First Coast, like, I want to do that as a special. Like,
Yeah.
I think that did I already say this on the podcast? I can't remember.
No, you didn't specifically say that on the podcast.
Like, I want to film that as a special. But see, I don't want that to be the first thing I do. I don't want that to be my first special. But like, I feel like that would be an awesome just scenario for a special, and we do. They do the same format, 3 stories and then 3 act outs with the improv people, and it would be about 15 to 20 minutes of my comedy, and then about 15 to 20 minutes of their acting out, and it would probably equal close to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of a special. I mean, on the night it was longer than an hour, but they added a story from the audience. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a good, and it's something unique. Like, I feel like it could be, the only thing is like, I probably would want to do it as something that doesn't make money, because just something we put out there for exposure kind of things, where it goes on a YouTube or something like that. Because it's like, when it's the 3 of us, and it's my work, your work, and Wes's work.
Right.
We each can own our specials and sell them however we want to.
Right.
If we want to not put them on YouTube, that's up to us. But when we're working with, that's going to be 7 or 8 extra people. It's like, well, how do we decide who gets to own the material? How do we decide who gets to? But I would probably only do it based on we're just gonna put it out there, and then if money comes from it, if somebody offers to buy it, or we end up getting enough views to earn some money off of it, we'll just split whatever money comes.
Yeah,
that's probably how I would do it if we self-produced something like that. But I did talk to them, and they are open to doing a matinee sometime if and then we don't have to buy out the theater, or buy out the space. Which is much preferable. Right. It is a little far for me. It's over an hour for me.
Ditto. Yeah.
So that West is not as far, but that was probably my biggest concern was the fact that it was so far away for my people to go to, whereas the St. Augustine one, it's still 40 minutes for me, but my family all lives in, like, closer to there anyway. Like, my parents live probably 20 minutes from there.
Right. Where are you going to pull the crowd from? That's the big question.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like, so I don't know. Well, there's still a lot to talk about, and a lot of opportunities and options. But so that show went well then at Third Space.
That show went well. Then I was in Savannah on Valentine's Day.
Now this is what I want to hear about. How did that go?
That was okay.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
Just okay. It was cool headlining, but there were like 5 other comedy shows going on there, like within a short walking distance that night.
What, really?
Really.
Like where?
Just other venues. Like I got there and early to like hand out like flyers and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I'll do the street hustle. Yeah. And
honestly, they get tickets that way because it's such a walking community there. Everybody's walking around, and then they're looking for something to do at night. Yep. Like I remember when I recorded my album there, they Tom, like, we went and set up at 5 or whatever to get everything set up, and then Tom and I and Emery went out with flyers, and we ended up getting 20 more people to come to the show.
Yeah,
just by handing out flyers.
There were at least 5 couples that I handed a flyer to that ended up.
Oh, nice.
Coming in. So it was definitely worthwhile, but there were also a bunch of other people who were saying, "Hey, I'm going to a different comedy show," and I'm like, "Oh,
really?
okay."
That's crazy."
And at first, I'm like, "Oh, they're just saying that," but
then you started to see a pattern.
I saw a pattern, and then Thomas, he was like, "Yeah, there's other shows, and I didn't know about blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I don't know the venues, the places, but it's like, yeah, not like a comedy club per se, but there were other shows. So the place wasn't packed, but it was decently full. The part that was just okay, like when I had scheduled this, they're like, "Oh yeah, we expect you to do like 35, 40 minutes, first time headlining, really."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sounds great. And got there, and Thomas was like, "Yeah, the people that I had to open aren't here, so it's going to be me, this other guy named Robert, who's nice. He's a rabbi in the area. I don't know.
Yeah. He does most of the shows.
Yeah.
I know Rob.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
But Thomas was like, "Hey, you want to do what? Like an hour 10, hour 20?" And I'm like,
To you?
"Yeah." I'm like, "No."
Rob can do 20 or 30 minutes.
Right? Yeah.
He has the ability to.
Yeah, he certainly can. I'm like, "Hey, and I had him do 20, and I'm like, and I did 55.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where I'm like, "Oh, I wasn't planning on doing this chunk," and I'm like,
even if you have the material in your repertoire or whatever, when you're expecting to do 45 at the most, which you probably weren't even expecting to do that much,
right?
That's tough to then have to commit to an hour,
right? Because
once you've been planning on a certain amount.
I'm like, okay, hit this, and go right into this. I'm like, oh, I've got another 5 minutes, but it fits back here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how do I get back to this?
Yeah.
This joke, and so.
Well, and you're not like your style of comedy is specifically, you're very much present your set.
Right.
Like your style of comedy, and which is, same as Brian Regan, comics like that, where it's like you do a set, like you tell your jokes, you do your set, you tell your stories, as natural as it may sound or non-natural as it may sound, however your style is, you've got a set,
Right.
Whereas my comedy's a little more fluid. I do have my set, but I also will throw it out the window and do whatever sometimes. And I feel like you do that less. You do less of throwing it out the window.
Right.
And so I can see how not having planned for an hour can be tough.
Yeah. And it was one of those things. My wife, who was there, it was awesome.
She did 20 minutes too?
She did 20 minutes too.
You're just like, anybody will come up from the crowd?
I'm like, let's do crowd work. You and me, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was she's like, you didn't tell that joke. I'm like, I completely wasn't planning on it, and I had no way to get back to it.
Yeah.
So it's just
one thing I have thought about is when we do eventually record a special or whatever, and I have thought about doing, because I do worry that I'm going to, and I don't know if this is as much of a risk for you as it is for me, because I do like to get off on tangents.
Right.
I am worried that I'm going to forget to go back to a joke or something like that. I might do not cue cards, but not like written out cue cards, but like posters in the back of the room that just have my set list on them, like the names of the jokes on them.
Absolutely.
I might do that when we go to record, and because I am worried about missing a joke or losing my spot or something like that.
You can tape a poster board to the stage.
Yeah, or something. Something like that.
With words written on it. I've actually seen professional shows like on HBO where if you look at the right time, you'll see that if you know what.
Oh, really?
What you're looking for.
I might do
okay,
that.
that's on the floor.
I can't. The floor. I feel like the floor is going to be distracting. That's why I was thinking like back behind the cameras, like back by the wall. I don't know.
Right.
Well, it's something. One of those logistic things will work out.
By the way, you talk about distracting. There is one distracting thing right now that I kind of want to bring up. Emo Phillips here. I just keep on glancing back, and I think that I keep thinking it's Grandma Lee. But it's a more feminine.
Yes.
It's a more feminine
version of
Grandma Lee.
Yeah, Grandma Lee definitely had that hairstyle.
Yes.
That is definitely looks like it could be Grandma Lee. Rest in peace, Grandma Lee.
Yeah.
Did you ever work with her?
Yes, she was a wonderful lady.
I did she used to always do Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
She used to do but not on Thanksgiving, but Friday and Saturday, and I emceed for her and Danny Niblock one year.
Okay.
And Danny was like, loved me. Like, Danny was like, you're the best MC we've ever had, all this stuff. And now he was getting drunker and drunker as the night goes on. I don't know if you've ever worked with Danny before.
I have, yes, yes.
But and by the last show, she's tired. And she only does 3 shows.
Right.
Unlike, most comics will do 4 or 5 when they come and do a weekend. She does 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday. That's her thing. And, she was famous enough in the Jacksonville area to sell 3 shows, basically.
Right. Yep.
And she would always do every year. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and her fans would come out, and by the last show, she's like, and she told us, told me ahead of time, she's like, listen, I'm tired by the last show, so I let Danny do as long as he wants, and then I do whatever's left. She's like, if it's 20 minutes, then it's 20 minutes. It's like I don't want to be up there too long. Well, Danny, I guess he thinks of that as a challenge, maybe. I don't know, but people were sending shots up to him, up to the stage, and he was up there long enough for those shots to kick in and him to get drunker and drunker as the night was going on. So he was that was the second show of the night, so he had already had some drinks on the first show, and then by the end, like during the pictures and everything, he's like, his face, like his eyes are like closed in the pictures and stuff of the show, and then he's supposed to, I don't know what ended up, he's supposed to, whoever she has as her feature is usually her handler too.
Right.
Like helps her get to the room, helps her get home or whatever.
Yep.
Now she's staying here that night, and I think what happened, I ended up taking her to the room. Or maybe Fred did. I think Fred was here, and Fred took her to the room.
Okay.
Because Danny was like passed out on the we're both like, if Danny takes her to the room, they're both gonna fall over. Like that's not gonna work. But that was actually a really fun night. I had a lot of fun. And then I ended up working with her later because of that. She liked me a lot, and I ended up working with her later in Gainesville. Really great woman. She was real fun to work with.
She was a blast
while she was around. But yeah, R.I.P. She died a few years ago.
Yep.
Of normal things because she was like 100.
Yeah, she was old and she chain smoked.
Yeah. Well, I think she was. I mean, she was definitely, when I worked with her, she was definitely over 80.
Yep.
She might have even made it pretty close to 90 by the time she died. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was definitely well over 80 when I worked with her.
Yes.
Like 85 to 87 years old, probably. Like well into her 80s. So I wouldn't surprise me if she made it pretty close to being 90 by the time she passed. But yeah, great comic, great. Danny, also a great comic.
Yeah, I've got to say she might be in like I don't know the best way to quantify it, but she might be the person to put Jacksonville comedy on the map just because of
and it is a shame because now I think it's been a little long that she's kind of not forgotten, but just like obviously she's not around anymore, so
right.
It's hard to keep her name and Jacksonville comedy because she was a finalist on America's Got Talent. So
she did really well on Last Comic Standing.
Oh, that's right. She did do Last Comic Standing.
She didn't make it past one round, but they brought her back.
They brought her back
to do a guest set in the finals because Jay Moore liked her so much.
Because Jay Moore liked her so much. So it did kind of put Jacksonville comedy on the map for a while, because I mean, that's the most famous comic from Jacksonville, right? The two most famous things to have happened in the comedy world in Jacksonville are Grandma Lee and Cat Williams filming a special here and making fun of Jacksonville.
And I'm gonna have to say Lil Duval.
Oh yeah, well Lil Duval's not a comic though. He's a rapper, right? Lil Duval's a rapper, right? Never mind. Sorry. That was just a random person I asked.
My understanding is he did comedy.
Oh,
But,
did he?
Yeah, but
Oh.
I don't know.
I think he's a rapper. Well, he's in a rap song. That's the only thing I know him from.
Okay.
Is that one rap song?
Well, I'm gonna. We're probably both
Living my best life. That song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I kind of like I'm the worst person to ask about music.
And I can't say the next word
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure neither of us will ever be able to say the next word in that.
Yeah. No. I'm
living my best life.
I'm getting the vibe.
Hey, you know Lil Duval? Do you know who Lil Duval is? Yeah, he's a rapper, right? Or is he not? Is he more of a personality? Yeah. More of a personality, okay. Because he was saying he thought he was a comic, but he does do comedy? Oh, okay. Okay. I just know the one song. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, he is kind of he's like a comic, but I always thought he was a rapper because he's in that song. But maybe he's in that song as a personality.
Lil Duval, American comedian and musician.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I guess he is a comic. All right. So Lil Duval, Grandma Lee, both pretty much the same comic, Grandma Lee and Lil Duval.
Yeah, I mean, same build from the picture I just saw.
Yes. That's what Lil Duval looks like right there.
Yeah. Just a little bit less feminine.
Yeah. No, yeah, Lil Duval, I guess. I guess I never knew he was a comedian. I just figured he was a rapper because he's in that song with, I think it's with Snoop Dogg, isn't it?
No. Well, more importantly, how was your weekend?
So my family wanted to go fossil and shark tooth hunting 4 hours away on the west coast of Florida.
Okay.
And I did not. And my 8-year-old son did not either. And so we stayed home the entire weekend and ate pizza and watched Ninja Turtles. And then Saturday, he had a sleepover with his cousins, and then I went to the open mic at First Coast Comedy.
Okay.
And have you been to the open mic yet? It's an early open mic.
I have been to like the 4 p.m. open mic.
Yeah. It was amazing. Like now I don't know if it's like this every time.
Oh, it was not like that the times I've been there.
Well, so we ended up having probably 15 or 20 people there.
Okay.
Paying people, like people who paid tickets to come to this show. And there was only 4 comics there, which worked out great because we were all seasoned comics. There was no comic. There was no brand new people there. It was me and Emery. Scotty Chi was the host. Who else was there? So there was another comic there that I was not familiar with, but he seemed to have been doing it for a while.
Right.
And then I can't remember. Sorry if there was somebody else there that I forgot. Elise did a set.
Okay.
She was working the bar anyway.
Yep.
She did a set. Anyway, we all did 15 minutes.
Okay.
It was fun.
Nice.
Scotty had me close the show, which was great. In fact, I'm probably going to look at the recording later and see if it's usable because I had a really good set.
Nice.
Ended up being really good. It was a Valentine's Day set, which I tried to talk about couple-y stuff and marriage and stuff like that, which worked out. Which I guess that's why tickets sold. People were looking for something to do pre-dinner for Valentine's Day, I guess.
Yeah, something to do.
Anyway, I'm going to go next week and see how it is. I mean, it might not be as good, but I had a blast this week.
See, that's awesome.
And that was the only show I did this weekend, but it was a lot of fun. Shantytown was great. We had a great show at Shantytown. Shantytown's...
That's an impressive mic.
It's just so good now. Like, we always have a good crowd. In fact, somebody recently reached out who wants to come do a show down there. I didn't have anything available, a booked show available for her.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Come to the mic. We'll promote you as a special guest at the mic, and we'll take tips and try to see if we can get you some money. I mean, it won't be like a book show, but maybe, we could get you gas money probably if you're looking for a show to do, or maybe if you have merch or something like that. That's a good place to sell merch. And we're going to try it. This will be the first time we'll have... it'll be March 9th. It'll be the first time we do this where we have a special guest on the podcast. I'm not on the podcast. A special guest at the mic.
Right.
So I hope that works out. We used to do that at Rain Dogs.
Yeah.
That was a very common thing to do at Rain Dogs. Probably once a month or every other month, we'd have somebody special come.
As a matter of fact, I want to say Dusty Slay did that.
Dusty Slay did that. That was how I met Dusty Slay. Is he came and did was a special guest, and then we passed around a tip basket. And that always seemed to work well at Rain Dogs. Now, it is a bigger venue at Rain Dogs than Shantytown. But I'm hoping that, an out-of-town comic who wants to do some time is going to at least – I'm hoping the local comics will be supportive and maybe give a couple bucks in the tip basket so that we can give her some gas money at least, or at least something to make it worth her while, because I feel bad. She's reached out to me a couple times to try to do shows here when she's got other stuff going on. Well, she is actually headlining the Savannah Comedy Review that next month.
Okay.
And so that's why she wants to do some shows before she goes up there.
Sure. Yeah.
And she's coming from somewhere. I forget where she's from.
I've seen her
maybe South Florida
picture. Because
anyway, more news about that as it gets closer. But yeah, I'm hoping this works because I'd like to do this more often.
Yeah.
I'd like to have. And we'll do. I want to do it like we used to do at Rain Dogs, where I handpick the people who go ahead of her. They're still doing 5-minute sets, but I handpick like how much time you got?
We've got plenty right
okay.
now.
Okay, where I handpick like 4 or 5 comics to go ahead of her, and then it's just open at the end, and then she does like 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. Anyway, I hope that works out, and because I'd like to continue to do that.
This actually just hit because we're talking about all the other comedians and whatnot. I ran into Jacksonville comedians in Savannah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my wife and I were just walking around a couple hours before the show, just enjoying Savannah. Ran into DeAndre Stringer and his wife.
Were they doing one of the other shows that were going on that night, or they just happened to be there?
Just happened to be there for a romantic Valentine's weekend.
That's true. It is like Savannah's not. It was a pretty nice place to go for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was great.
Like, that's just that is like if I were to plan for a Valentine's Day weekend that was close, Savannah's a great place for that.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, saw him, and I think I accidentally called him Andre instead of DeAndre. But
okay.
but it was one of those things. I'm like, it was just out of context. I'm like, I know you.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's funny to not see him at a show.
Right. I'm like, and his wife, so we just said hi, Hey, I asked him, are you here for a show? He's like, no, and I'm like, come to mine. But they already had
plans.
Had dinner plans.
Well, that's fun. That's kind of funny.
And then I don't know if you remember her, Jeannie Froman Ball.
Oh yes,
yeah. She's a chiropractor.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Her and her husband were.
Does she even do comedy anymore?
I don't believe
so.
Not
really. Yeah.
But her and her husband were already in Savannah for the weekend. They saw John Mulaney on Friday night in Savannah area.
That explains why nobody came to your show.
Yeah. and
you should have had John Mulaney promote your show.
I
was there.
I emailed him, and his people said stop.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, she's like, I heard you're going to be in the area, and she came into my show, so that was very very nice of her. But it was cool seeing people from Jacksonville there just randomly.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's cool. I remember when she joined the Comedy Zone group, and Moon and I were like, we need to become friends with her so we can get free adjustments.
Yes. Yeah.
Today we're recording this on Wednesday, but our holiday that we're celebrating today is on Friday. Today I was on TV. Okay. I was on First Coast Living to promote the show for Saturday, the Murray Hill Theater. Come to the Murray Hill Theater tomorrow night. Clean comedy series, Murray Hill Theater. So I was on TV. They have a new set, which is nice. Last time I was there, they were in the temporary set upstairs, very small. So I have this new set with a couch area for interviews, and then there's like a kitchen, and then a display area, and then another area where they have they had a dog, and the other area that you can adopt, and that was going to be on the show. So it's huge area now. It's this huge soundstage now, and it went really well. That was probably the best. That's my third appearance on First Coast Living, and that was probably the best one so far. I was the most comfortable. I feel like having it in the couch, like this, the interview setting was better. Like I feel like I was comfortable and could be funny, and I had bits in mind. It was my third time with that guy that I can't remember his name. The male host of First Coast Living. So it went very well, I think. It was a lot of fun. I watched it later on their YouTube channel to see how terrible I was, and it wasn't that bad. I didn't want to kill myself after watching myself on TV.
That's always a plus.
So that worked out pretty well. Now they would like to do continuing comedy series there now, and have some of us perform. I don't know if they've reached out to you yet.
No one ever reaches out to me. No.
Well, I did tell him. So Leroy first brought it up to me. Leroy's
Right.
the director over there.
Right.
He does all the stuff in the booth and stuff for that show. And Leroy reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we want to start doing, like, you go and do a 3-minute set on air."
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, that sounds great." And then he said, and he said, anybody else you can think of that can do that, he doesn't have to worry about for live network television,
Right.
which is live network daytime television too. It's very specific.
Very, very specific.
Very specific kind of clean comedy. Yeah. And obviously I gave him your name, and everybody could think of that would be solid for that. And
Like Emery.
yeah.
I love you, Emery, but
like Anna Lepoli. She could sell some T-shirts that are going to have to be blurred out. So anyway, I gave him a bunch of names. He's got a list going, and then then somebody else brought it up today and was like, "Hey, let's get your information to the whoever is in charge." So the ball is rolling on that.
Awesome.
And so that's something that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. We're going to start filming some stuff. They want to do more comedy, involved with more comedy, which is great. And I really hope we can continue to curate that too, so that the people who I like that my connection with Leroy, and Leroy respects my opinion, which is good. So I hope we can keep that a curated thing, and keep good comics going, kind of cycling through that.
Absolutely.
As they continue with that. Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
That is awesome. That sounds amazing. Maybe that's where we'll do our special.
Maybe. I don't know where
I doubt
we
it,
would
but
put people.
Yeah, I doubt it, but I like to dream.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's state of the art. Like, they have these huge screens in places, and it doesn't even look like a TV screen. I thought it was a poster at first, and then because it has no bezel or anything, but then it changed, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then they have like fake windows that are actually TV monitors that look like windows that have birds that fly by, and like, it's pretty crazy.
That is cool. That's like next level, like, space kind of stuff where
I know.
they do that so you don't freak out and become claustrophobic.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Or they have to fake natural atmosphere so that you don't go crazy. It was a lot of fun. So I would encourage you to watch it on their YouTube channel. It was today's episode of First Coast Living. If you just Google First Coast Living Jacksonville, it will come up with their YouTube page, and then on February 18th. Today's February 18th?
Today is February 18th.
February 18th episode. Watch that one, and you'll see me on there. I come in at about 10 minutes after the hour, 11:10, 11:11, something like that.
Okay, nice.
And a nice little 4-minute chunk there. It was pretty fun. I did stress over what shirt I should wear.
Obviously.
Yeah. I didn't want to wear a T-shirt. I felt like I should wear a collared shirt.
Right. And patterned shirts can be iffy.
I know, but I don't like not wearing a patterned shirt. I didn't have any good black button-up shirt. I normally would just wear like a black button-up shirt. I didn't have any good ones clean. I only had flannels clean. So I wore, and I almost wore the red flannel, but the red and black, but I was worried it was too Paul Bunyan-y, so I wore the black and white one. Okay. And I think it was a good decision. It is kind of funny because when they start the show, the two hosts are up front, and then all the people that are going to be on the show are behind them in their stations. So, like, we've got the chef is over at his station, the other person. There's like a presentation table for she's presenting products, and I'm over here at the couch for the interview section, and then the dog's like over here in another section, and so all of us are behind them, and so I'm just like kind of sitting there awkwardly. And I'm very noticeable because I'm large and I'm off to the side. And then I started playing it, and I showed my son, and I was like, "You notice anything about this?" And he goes, "Is that you?" And I was just like in the background looking at I should have like not looked at the camera for some reason. Like it was and I didn't want to move. I wanted to be as still as possible. I'm just like this, like just like looking at the camera off in the background. I should have like looked off to the side or something. I don't know.
Had a book to read.
Yeah, something. I just, it was so weird. And now obviously I'm noticing myself, so I don't know that anybody else noticed it, but it was just funny. But it was a lot of fun. Come out to MurrayHillTheater.com is where you can get tickets for that show. And then you've got, how are rehearsals going with the play?
Rehearsals are going well. I'm thrilled at the level of just the talent that we have with the other performers. The director he's awesome. He's got a very clear vision and is able to relay that. There certainly have changes that have been made as far as, hey, this is what we want, let's change it to this, but it still works. He's making things easier for all of us and for me, because I'm not used to being a stage actor.
Yeah, right. You're not used to memorizing consecutive words.
Right. And when I'm doing, my set, it's, hey, these are my words. If I change them, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to play off of somebody else. I don't have to remember what they're saying and then respond to it. I can just do my own thing. Yeah. And so he's making it a lot easier for me. So
that's good.
It's cool. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I do have a show coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Burlock and Barrel.
I love that show. Have you done it before?
I've not done this show
great.
Before.
I love that show.
I'm looking forward to it.
Even if a lot of people don't show up, that sounded like a slight. Even if a lot of people don't show up because it's you, no. Like even if there's only like 6 or 7 people there, it still is a cool show because it's a small space. But obviously it's better if more people show up.
Yeah, I'm not headlining. Osric is.
Okay.
So I
no
know
pressure. Yeah.
I know it's going to be a blast just because I find
It'll
him
be fun.
hilarious.
Yeah, it'll be fun to work with Osric. Yeah, I love that show. I did it a couple months ago. I did it before it started getting cold, when it was just barely starting to get cold.
Okay.
Back in whenever that was, October or November. And I wore a flannel for the first time of the year. Like that was like first season flannel. I was like, is it cold enough I can wear a flannel yet? Right. And I wore the flannel, and it wasn't quite cold enough, but it wasn't too hot yet. It wasn't too hot anymore to wear the flannel. So I wore the flannel, and it's a really fun space. In fact, my background picture on Facebook was that spot for a while because it's such a cool background. And
I noticed.
I believe they're using my picture on the promotions for that show too.
Yes, they are. I also noticed that.
Because Travis came the night I did it, so Travis got a bunch of really good pictures of that night. So and honestly, with the flannel, the lumberjack look kind of works for that room anyway. So it kind of, I think that's why they've been using my pictures for the promotion, but I don't mind that, except for if people think I'm performing there and then they show up. But but it's really cool room. Is that Friday or Saturday?
It is Friday night.
Friday night, okay. I might come by. I might come by and check it out because I like that room a lot.
Yeah, just like I said, I'm probably going to try to come out to your show at Murray Hill on Saturday. Murray Hill on Saturday.
8 p.m. show.
8 p.m.
7 p.m. doors. Yeah. Really fun place. And I don't know if I said this on the last episode, I'm going to be taking a bigger role at that place now. Did I say this on the last episode?
You've mentioned to me. I forget if it was on the
I think I
episode.
said it on the last episode, but Mike Freed kind of wants to hand over he still wants to be involved. He's still going to help promote it and help connect me with people, but he's
He's busy.
He's a little fatigued, a little busy. So I'm going to be hosting and booking it from now on.
Okay. Nice.
So keep me posted if you come across comics that you think would be great to headline that room.
I've got a couple people already in mind.
Yeah, I know, because I'd like to start reaching out and getting it booked. We're booked through May right now, so we've got April and May. It's technically started as a quarterly show, but it's just kind of turned into whenever they can get people to come. Like if they can get a good big name to come out, they can kind of work around their schedule. So as often as once a month, but they're shooting for quarterly. So we're not doing one in March, but we're doing one in April and May.
Okay. Nice.
So I'll be looking for June, July, something like that for the next one. But
awesome.
And then Really Good Beer Stop on May 6th. I've got that one booked out. Chris Buck is going to be headlining. Dan Venti is going to be on the show. He was on.
Yeah.
He was on our podcast. Do you have to take off right now?
No.
Okay.
No. I
have one more thing I want to talk about.
Yeah. I just keep getting notifications.
Oh.
And so.
What's your out time?
My out time's 6:30, so we've got like another.
We got
20
another
minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So I do have a question for you.
All right.
Do you think little backpacks are for girls?
Do I think I think.
Hey Jimmy. Come here for a minute.
It depends on how little the backpack is.
So this is Jimmy O'Connor. He's a comic and he works the door sometimes and produces some of these shows.
Hey guys, how you doing?
You look like an attractive person.
Okay.
I was going to say fashionable, but I think it's just that you're attractive.
I'll take both. Thank you.
As a young person who's much younger than both of us by at least 2 or 3 years, can men wear small backpacks? Do you know what I mean by that? Do you know what Loungefly backpacks are?
I don't know what those are specifically, but I think I know what you're talking about. The small backpacks.
Like they're like half size. They're the same shape as a backpack, but they're just half size, and they still have straps. You wear them on both shoulders and everything.
I think that's like really rich people stuff.
I
see a lot of like.
I went to Disney this weekend, and everybody's wearing them. Not this weekend, last weekend, but everybody wears them at theme parks. Like they're huge in theme parks. I think because people don't want to carry around a purse, so they wear a backpack. But I did not see too many men wearing them. I mostly saw women. But if you just look at it, there's nothing necessarily inherently effeminate about the backpack. It just looks like a small backpack. So I brought a giant regular size backpack with me, shaped like R2-D2, but I want a small backpack, but I'm afraid it's too feminine. Like I'm gonna look stupid.
I think you could settle for a fanny. I think fanny packs are.
Fanny packs are the thing now.
Yeah,
like that, they are very popular
sick.
now. Which I have a couple of those.
I used to have. I had a lifeguard fanny pack, and then had a dog training fanny pack that I would keep all my treats in. They're pretty sick.
Fanny packs are now the thing. People wear them all across the shoulder.
Yeah, you could do
that,
or you could do like the sash, like the phone thing.
That's true.
Where it's like just kind of one.
But there are so many cool tiny backpacks.
Get a tiny. I think it's just you rock anything.
Well,
with
listen, I have
I
have the backpack. This is the backpack I have. Yeah, it looks that's feminine. It's pretty shiny.
That's very much like Anime Con Girl.
Yeah, right? Isn't it?
I couldn't really imagine you wearing that, not going to lie.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
It's very... Now, I don't know if this is Loungefly brand, but it's... Like, Loungefly is like the most popular brand for these.
I think you could do it, but you would just have to rock it with confidence.
Maybe if I think I could wear it in the right setting. Like if I'm going to
Disney, or
but I don't think I could just wear this.
Drag show.
Yeah.
It's so shiny, but I also I like that it's shiny because it's kind of cool and it looks like Wolverine. I don't know.
I say just rock it with confidence. If you like it, don't let other people's...
It comes with paper in it.
Yeah, don't let other people's judgment affect your style. Go for it, buddy.
It's pretty sparkly. It's pretty. There's like sparkles on the.
I disagree.
stripes.
Let other people's opinions inhibit that. That would not look good on you. If that was a regular size backpack, it would not look good on you. It looks worse because it's smaller.
I think the size does make it seem purse-like.
Yeah, I think
Right?
it's very much like
you know what I'm
gay-
talking about
It's like
now.
gay bear energy.
Yeah.
Like you would have a lot more gay bear energy.
I probably would get hit
with
on
that.
more
Yeah.
with this if I wore this.
Yeah, I think
people would
so.
assume things about me if I wore
Yeah.
this.
That matching
Yeah.
with the Deadpool hat for
Yeah.
sure. well groomed beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a vibe.
So if I am lonely. All right. Jimmy O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily think small backpacks are necessarily feminine, but that one is.
All right, man.
Now, I thought the question was going to be something about today's day, National Hoodie Hoo Day.
It is Northern Hemisphere Hoodie Hoo Day.
Northern Hemisphere Hoodie. And
Like I said, we've got a lot to talk about with this one.
Yeah,
it is a holiday where on Friday, so today, February 20th, at noon specifically,
noon.
everybody who lives in the Northern Hemisphere should go outside and shout Hoodie Hoo.
Yeah, obviously.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say about that holiday.
My question, just for the people out there who don't know, not necessarily for us, but I think some people come to us for an explanation, which I'm going to leave to you. Why?
So the explanation is that is listed on the holidays for this
Right.
month, and
Yeah.
there's no explanation as to why we do that.
Yeah. So it's
Only
just
people in the Northern Hemisphere. If you're sorry, Brazil, I know we have a big fan base in Brazil. I
Yes.
apologize. 11% of our fan base is in Brazil, and I apologize to everybody who lives in Brazil. You are not allowed to celebrate this holiday. It's only for Northern Hemisphere.
But our challenge to you, Brazil, is to come up with a Southern Hemisphere Hootie Hoo Day and let us know about it.
Yeah. So at noon today, everyone should go outside, and I will listen. We don't have a TikTok account yet. I don't think so.
No.
Today is. I'm going to make a TikTok account just so I can go live at noon and do Hootie Hoo.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout Hootie Hoo. That will be the first post that will be the first interaction with our TikTok account.
Hey Siri, set alarm for 11:55 a.m. Friday, February 20th.
Did it work?
We'll find out.
We'll find out
Yeah.
at 11:55 on Friday.
Exactly.
So we're going to do Northern Hemisphere Hootie Hoo Day. Speaking of Northern Hemisphere, have you been watching the Olympics?
I have watched just a little bit. Not as much as I normally do, just because I've been busy.
Really like the Olympics. I have not watched it as much, but Tuesday. Was that yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday, I decided I was going to sit down and watch some with my wife because we love watching the Olympics. I remember a couple years ago, or whatever, 4 years ago, enjoying watching curling. I don't know if you've ever watched curling.
I have watched curling, and there has been so much controversy.
It is quite an interesting sport, and there's so much of it. Like, you learn new things about the sport every time you watch it. However, I for some reason forgot that it is the length of a normal sporting event. Like, it was over 2.5 hours long for one curling match.
Yes.
Because they do, and there was like 6 ends. I don't know why they call them ends, but those are like the game, like the
Right.
But it's like they do more than that. It might be 8, something. I don't know if there's a set number or what. I don't know how it works, but they have a certain they keep, or if it's time, maybe it's timed, and then you do as many ends as it takes to get to the end of your time.
I have never gotten that in depth into it.
There is a timer involved, and it's kind of like a shot clock, but it's like from what I can tell, it's like a 35, 45-minute timer. And then it's like every time you go to shoot, time comes off of your clock, and then you have to you can't I don't know how it works. But then there's a certain number of shots too, so I don't know what the timer's for. Because then there's a certain number of shots. You have a certain number of shots you can make, and by the way, it was invented in Scotland. I did find this out. It's invented in Scotland.
The name makes sense because of that.
And all competitive curling stones, which is I believe what they're called, all competitive curling stones are harvested from the same mountain in Scotland.
Really?
All of them. Now, if you go curl with your friends, or whatever, you buy a curling stone and just decide to go out to a lake in Canada and curl, that's probably not one of those. But all official competitive curling stones are harvested from a mountain in Scotland, and I believe then manufactured and and ground down and smoothed out, all by the same company. They're all made by the same company.
That's impressive.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I have to wonder how many of those competitive stones are out there.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine it's that many, but it's also got to be a lot more than I would expect it to be.
Yeah, right? Because every team has to have probably like 20 stones or so. I don't know how many they have, but there's a lot of by the end of the game, there's tons of stones out there.
Now, my question is, does that have anything to do with the unit of measurement, a stone?
You know what? I bet it does, because in the UK they refer to stone like he's 5 stone or 3 stone or 10. I can't remember. I think a stone is 30 pounds, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I remember thinking one time I'm 10 stone or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know about stone? Like when you say somebody uses their weight in a stone, like in the UK. You know what I'm talking about? I think it's like 30 pounds or something. For 1 stone? Or am I thinking of that wrong? Is it like 10 pounds? It might be closer to 10. It's like a weird number though. Yeah, but it's even weirder than that, because I think it's not a set number of kilograms either. It's like, or it is a set number, but it's not like
1 stone is 14 pounds.
Oh, 14 pounds. Right in the middle. So, yeah. So it's that. We were just talking about curling, and we're wondering if a curling stone is 14 pounds, and that's why, like, if that's where it came from. I don't know. What? No, they call it a stone. Yeah. The curling stone, they call it a stone. And I wonder if it's 14 pounds. 14 pounds would make sense. That's like a bowling
curling
ball.
Stones made from polished granite between 38 and 44 pounds.
All right. Well, that's way heavier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
38 and 44. Here's something. How do they travel with those things? They gotta bring like 20 of them to an event or whatever, every team. Or maybe the stones stay at the event.
It seems like the curling budget is mostly going to be shipping for rocks.
Yes. Well, and I was just telling him, I found out that all competitive curling stones, are harvested from the same mountain in Scotland. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm sure that's to make sure that all stones are equal size, that equal weight and density and everything. Because because they probably have to be a certain density. They don't want somebody bringing in a lighter stone or something like that.
All right, so in Olympics and top level competitions, stones typically weigh 42 pounds.
42?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I was watching curling last night, I was telling him, and it is way longer than I ever remembered it being. It's like 2.5 hours for one match. And the match I watched didn't even determine who was going to the medal rounds. It was just one of the round robin matches that they were playing to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's curling.
Yeah.
Which makes me give a hootie hoo.
Yeah. So Friday at noon, everybody in Northern Hemisphere, hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo.
Well, that's about all I have today.
Yeah, ditto. We've talked about upcoming shows.
What'd you say? Friday, Burlock and Barrel.
Friday, Burlock and Barrel.
Saturday, Murray Hill Theater. And Monday, come to Shantytown on Monday. It will be honestly one of the best comedy shows you'll go to all week for at least some part of it.
Yes,
some part of it will not be good. I would say that right away. Some part of Shantytown, guaranteed, there will be some part of it you will hate.
Yes,
but most of it you will love.
Yes.
Mostly when a certain couple people go up, you'll probably hate that. But it's only 5 minutes at a time, so you don't have to worry. Or 3. It could be 3 minutes. So you might get lucky, and they don't get drawn in the first 10. I'll say this in odds. I would say there will probably be maybe one person in the first 10 that's doing a 5-minute spot that you probably hate, and then after that, there's probably 2 more in the 3-minute spots.
Yeah.
So 10, maybe 10. I'm saying like maybe 10 to 11 minutes of comedy that you'll hate, and then at least an hour and a half of comedy that you'll love, of great comedy.
That's
and sometimes I forget to look at my watch, and Emery gets to do 7 minutes. So
yeah, and that's the part we love the most.
And there's one of them right now. He's not one of the ones that you'll hate. That was Austin Tanner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. They're setting up for the mic here, which I will be performing at, that you will not be able to go to because it's Friday when you're listening to this.
Unless time travel exists.
I don't know why I said that. All right. Today is whatever we say it is, and you're here for it. I'm Joey Nickel.
I'm Bobby Parker.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
Today is whatever they say it is, and we're here for it.